Gather round, everyone, and hear again the tale of Drakfu. Welcome back and happy Wednesday, everybody, to the Tale of Drakfu as we continue our questing in the plains of Nagrand. So, first of all, before we get anything else done, this is what we've done every time we've started up a video. Let's go ahead and check the command table and see what we have to turn in. So, Demonic Retribution. Ooh, smack. Oh. And there we go. So, experience, unfortunately nobody leveled, but we did get some Tormented Bracers. Not really a big reward for us, but we'll see. Gorging Ogres. Okay, boom! We have our second level 100 in Ziriak. And almost for Kaz. Okay, Little Biters. Okay, not quite a level up for Vivienne. Murkbog Terror. There we go. We got level ups for Kimsey and Morketh. And boom! That did it for Ulna. So, yay! And we also have Stalactite Appetite. And a little bit more for Benjamin and Mulverick. Dance Studio. Not really a whole lot to get there. And finally, the Gorian War Master. Boom! Ishal and Penny leveled up. And yeah, they're almost ready to level up again. So awesome. Okay, so as you can see, more stuff opens up to us, and now we have the equivalent of 610 gear. Now, 610, I believe, was normal? So normal dungeon gear was 610, and then eventually, when you got up to heroics, it was 630. So eventually, we will actually get the opportunity to get 630 gear if we want to get it, but we'll be in Legion content by then, so I'm not too worried about it. As you can see, we're actually starting to open things up with the higher experience yielding quests, but now we have a new one, Heart of the Sabermon. We're gonna go ahead and do this one. Just north of Gromashar dwell the Sabermaw clan, notorious outpost raiders. Strike out at their leader Soulfang and crush their morale. We're gonna send out Soulbinder Tulani, Syriac, and Penny Clobberbottom. Next one we're gonna send people out is the Mother of all Kaleri, which we've done before. And Mother Hami, she who breeds the swooping terrors of the sky. Find her, subdue her, and restore freedom to the skies. We're going to send out Benjamin, Olin, and Bluke for this one. Now we also have Raiders of the Lost Shard. Let's go and do that. The Arakoa have enslaved more outcasts and resumed their excavation efforts. Another setback for them is in order. So Morketh and Kaz are going to take care of that. Let's see. The rest is pretty solo, so let's go ahead and get the garrison resources ones next. The needs of the many. Elementals are chaotic by nature and are best avoided. This elemental has something we need: resources. Make it an offer we can't refuse. It cannot refuse. And we actually do get a party buff for this from Ulna, which is Extreme Scavenger. Increases the garrison resources gained from a mission by 200%. So this basically doubled in what it actually is supposed to give us. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom. And we also have Naughty by Nature. An ancient has begun attacking everyone and everything in its path. On a related note, we're currently low on firewood. So, Kala. I think we've done that one before, too. Unfortunately, we still can't do a lot of the 100 ones, and it's just simply because we need a higher item level. And unfortunately, we've gotten no nodes to actually increase item level. However, I have been working hard to get the salvage yard up to level 3, and that's actually a really great way to be able to get bonus weapon kit, as well as utilizing the dwarven, or not the dwarven, but the war mill to be able to do that. So we're going to be utilizing some garrison resources to help out with that effort, at least until we max everybody out, and then we'll worry about it later, I guess. Okay, so now that we've gotten that done, let's go ahead and quickly fly back over to the Throne of Elements and resume our questing.
Farewell.
Thankfully, it's not too far off. And while we are questing today, I actually am going to tackle more questions that people had and have given to me via Twitter, via Facebook, all of that other fun stuff regarding BlizzCon 2017, and kind of giving you guys' opinions as well as adding on to what I've already talked about. So I guess the first place to start with that, and we're just going to go ahead and start up the questing, is of the new continents that were given, and there are continents, which one are you more excited to go and explore? Kul Tiras or Zandalar? Oh, actually, let me explain this really quick before I start answering that. So once you get up to large timber, occasionally this guy, Phylark the Evergreen, will start coming out and attacking you. He'll do it 3 times. He's already done it once for me. Once you hit the 3rd time, he actually will join your garrison, and he's actually the most optimum follower you can put on the lumber mill. He will actually triple your resource production on that. So if you're in desperate need of resources, Phylark is a huge help in that regard. And he actually will give you an additional quest that can be done in the dungeon Everbloom. I don't know if we're going to worry too much about getting that done. We will see the Everbloom, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of a side mission that you can take on. So let's go ahead and make our way up to the Elemental Plateau. It's not down at the Throne of Elements, it's actually above it. And on the way, we're also going to go speak with Garok, who is the former representative of the Elementals. Anyway, back to the question. So, which one am I more excited to go quest in, Zandalar or Kul Tiras? Well, it's kind of equal, honestly. I like Zandalar just because we finally get to see that area. We get to see the Zandalari trolls. I'm also very intrigued with how we're going to befriend ourselves after we've had so many confrontations with them. And Kul Tiras, I'm excited for that because we get to see more of Jaina's story as she returns home and has to explain murdering her father to her mother, and also explaining all of the betrayals that have happened in her life to her mother, and see how she reacts to them. Anyway, so this is Garok.
What is it?
Calandrios sent you to me? I am honored. The Furies are wise. They know the burdens of my heart. You may not know, but you have been sent to grant a last request to a dying shaman. For this, I am grateful.
Giving him kind of the Drekthar voice, because I like the deep tones to a shaman. A rare bloom.
Many years ago, I had a life mate, Dahaka. We were only bound a short time before she was taken from me. I have lived long, but I have never known greater pain than that day. I was young, and my grief was great. The earth quaked beneath my rage. I laid her to rest upon this cliff. It is here where I too will rest. But first, a favor. A rare bloom grows in a cave within the fiery molten earth of the plateau. It was her favorite. I would lay the flower upon her grave one last time before I die.
So he wants us to go and get an Ember Blossom.
The fire and thorns of the Ember Blossom have always reminded me of her strength and conviction.
So we'll take care of that as we're going along. But now we're going to head up to the Elemental Plateau and start attuning ourselves and taking care of the corrupted guardians, as well as get the necessary living earth, water, fire, all that stuff that we need. And we're going to start things off with earth. As you can see, the earth and air are actually raging, because down here is where the earth are supposed to be, and then up in the hills is where the air are supposed to be. So already you can see the air elementals are already trying to start crap with me. There we go. Come on. I don't want to mine the guy. Oh, jeez, what the heck was that? So yeah, I wish I could say that I was more excited for one than the other. Not really. If anything's got me more excited, it's not necessarily the new continent. It is trying to justify the new allied races. I'm more interested in the politics there than I am necessarily in Zandalar and Kul Tiras joining either faction. Don't get me wrong, I'm interested, but I kind of had a feeling there would be some kind of an explanation. But when they announced, like, the Nightborn were going to be for the Horde, it was like, why? And I know that some good reasoning has been put out since after BlizzCon of, you know, they do actually show a couple of scenes with them befriending Lady Liadrin. And I do agree with that, but I kind of don't as well. By the way, here's the Unstable Earth Guardian. Took care of him. Now we don't need to worry about him. And now all we got to do is just go up this hill, and we can go into the air area and take care of the corrupted air guardian, as well as attune ourselves to the air. Everything will happen in its place. Okay, boom, we got one of each. That's kind of the difficult part of this, is that unfortunately you basically just need to roll the dice each time while killing these guys and see if you can get all of the earth and air you need, while trying to maintain at least some semblance of efficiency. Okay, one more for each of them. There we go. And I guess that actually couples itself into the next question that was actually asked for WoW. I actually do have ones for the other games. I'm going to get to the WoW ones first. The next one is, like, which of the new allied races are you more excited to play as, like, on first day? Like, which one will you play as? I think it's kind of a tie. I want to see the Nightborn story, but I also really want to see the Void Elves. So, it's going to be either or, honestly. And probably, since I do favor Alliance in a lot of my dealings, it'll probably be Void Elves first. No, this is not where he is. Where's the corrupted Earth Guardian? There, or Wind Guardian. There he is. How do we get to him? Oh, there we go. Oh, and by the way, so these big elemental stones, those are the pillars that we need to attune ourselves to. So let's go ahead and take care of the corrupted Wind Guardian. There we go. So now that we've done that, we'll head down and attune ourselves to the air, and then we'll go down and see if we can find the Earth one. Because now I have the corrupt Earth Guardian and Wind Guardian, as well as the living earth and air that I needed. Now all we need is fire and water. And the cool part is that this does kind of chain itself along, so you don't need to worry too much about this. Now, technically, the Elemental Plateau does exist in Outland. I just didn't show it off. It exists, but it's only obtainable, or at least it's only able to be traveled to via Flying Mount. But that's actually where a lot of people would go to get the primal fire, primal earth, all the stuff that they needed for either their crafting recipes or just to sell on the auction house at the time. And so I do like the fact that we got to revisit the Elemental Plateau as an area and as a questing hub, rather than just using it as a way to farm stuff. Because trust me, there is stuff to farm, and it's not fun, but thankfully there are other ways to be able to gather it, specifically through your profession huts. That's actually really cool in my opinion. I'd rather have it done through a garrison than have to go out into the world and do it myself. Just because sometimes that gets rather irksome, rather tedious. Okay, so this is where the water elementals are, and actually here is the Tainted Water Guardian. We'll take care of him next. There we go, so we have him. And there is the Water Stone. But first, here's another cool thing that you can do. You can actually touch this living water and grab it yourself. That actually helps this process along quite a bit. Come here, you. Are you gonna literally make me come up to you to kill you? There we go. Okay, so that's two. And you can already see the fire off in the distance, so we're going to be dealing with fire next. Again, I love these elemental designs. I really wish that there would be minor glyphs that you can get for the shaman to make your elementals look like these Furies. They look a lot more intimidating than the stuff that we've gotten on Azeroth before. Okay, that's all the living water I needed. Now let's just go ahead and attune ourselves to the water. Alright, so now we can cross the border and deal with the fire spirits. There's a living flame. our way, we can also take care of the Ember Blossom. Man, I killed off 2 fire elementals and still didn't get anything. What the crap, man? Let's see. So the next question that we can actually get into, I've answered the Garrison one on Monday, as well as the Uldir question. Oh, another one was, so we got a few dungeons kind of announced and showcased, but the one that caught a lot of people off guard was the announcement of Kazan, which is the goblin, basically where the goblin capital city of Undermine is. And a lot of people were a little shocked to see that that was going to be a dungeon, not necessarily a area that we can explore. Not necessarily a continent for us to go to. And I'm kind of in there with you. I would have liked to have been able to explore Kazan a little bit, but I have a feeling it was made a dungeon for a purpose. Maybe things have happened since then that have made it not a good place to live. So I'm more gonna take a wait-and-see approach and see what the dungeon actually does with Kazan. If it does poorly, then yeah, I'm with you, and we should have gotten it as its own. Because really the only access to Kazan you ever get in the game so far is, frankly, the Goblin starting experience, and it's only for like the first couple of levels, and then you're off to the Lost Isles. Oh, and by the way, here's a rare called Magmire, so we'll kill him too. There we go. And he actually gives you an additional quest, so a Wrong of Earth and Fire. Ha! Song of Ice and Fire. The molten core appears to be mutated remains of an elemental that consisted of both earth and fire. Slag elementals should not exist upon the plateau where the elements live in purity. You decide that the core should be taken to Incineratus at the Throne of Elements for examination. Perhaps the Great Fury of Fire will know what to make of this core and your battle with Magmire. And while we're here, we'll also grab the Ember Blossom, so we can take care of that. I want to be a little quick about it because Magmire does respawn kind of crazy. And now we are officially attuned with all of the elements. We still need to take care of the volatile Flame Guardian. Which I think... No, that's not it. Yeah, it's down this way. So this is the volatile Flame Guardian. So we'll take care of him. And then we should be good. Face of Fury! There we go. So now that we've taken care of this, it's time for us to go back to the elementals and announce a job well done. Whee! Don't attack me, don't attack me, don't attack me. I said don't attack me! So just down this way, we've done a full circle, and here is the Throne of Elements again. So let's turn in all of these quests and see what they have in store for us next. Now that we've attuned ourselves, now we can start handling the problem of the missing Gordog, the Earth Fury. So let's talk to Incineratus first. So, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Water. Bring to me the living essences of the elements, that I may plant the seeds of rebirth. You have done well. Although the elemental plateau is no longer stable, the cycle of rebirth will soon take place, and the elements will be born anew. Okay, so we can get these rings. There's really not too much difference between the two of them. Haste Versatility. Yeah, I'm just going to do Haste Versatility. And first of all, let's actually equip the ring and see if it's worthwhile. 600. Actually, no, it's not. So, yay. Guardians of the Plateau. Each of the guardians you put to rest were once mighty and noble elemental spirits. In time, each shall be reborn anew through the cycle of rebirth. But Gordog must be found and balance restored, lest the plateau become unstable yet again. There you go. A Wrong of Earth and Fire. Incineratus examines the core as you explain the circumstances behind its acquisition. Indeed, slag elementals should not exist upon the plateau. The plateau has grown unstable, causing the elemental spirits there to devolve and mutate.
So long as an earthen fury is absent from the throne, the imbalance in the elements will worsen. Gordog must return to the throne of elements if balance is to be maintained.
There we go. So, do we have a quest from Aborius? No, we don't. But Calandrios, never mind. I thought we did. Now let's turn these in with Drekthar.
How goes the fight?
You have done well, Drakfu. By linking with each of the 4 elemental pillars, you have attuned your life energy with each of the elements on Draenor. You are now ready to undertake the ritual of binding. Speak to me when you work upon the elemental plateau, or when your work upon the elemental plateau is finished, and we shall begin.
Spirits walk with you.
Okay, so we do that, and that is it. Oh, that's right. We need to take care of Garrock as well. So let's go ahead and take care of him, and then we will be able to do the elemental attunement and find out where Gordog is. So all the way back we go. Let's see. I'm trying to think, was there any others? I've kind of already answered this one, which was what was my thoughts on the war fronts as well as a lot of the PvP stuff that they announced. I'm not a big PvPer, and already you can tell, like, some of my biggest apprehensions, they're not there anymore, was that this was going to be a PvP-based expansion. And, again, if you love doing PvP, I'm not disparaging you. That's the way that you should want to play. I don't have a problem with whoever wants to play it so long as they pay the $15, rather. You know, that's really my only beef on the matter. Oh, geez. And here's our third encounter with Phylark. I will not win again, huh? Well, let's see about that. Okay, your species is superior. I am yours to command. For tens of thousands of years, we Botani have clashed against the mightiest forces of this world, but none have had your unbridled ferocity and resilience. I concede to your battle prowess. I will aid you in your campaign for dominance of my world, if you will accept me. So now you can get Phylark the Evergreen. And there we go. Now we have a brand new level 100 blue follower. Awesome. So he will go back to the garrison. And again, if you put him with your lumber mill, he triples the amount of resource production that you have. So basically, for every 10 resources that you bring in, he will give you 30 for them. Or for every 10 timber, I mean. For every 10 timber, he will give you 30 garrison resources for. And he'll triple the it's not that he triples the resources, because that's how much you would get. It's that he triples the speed at which you would get them. So it's a lot faster, and so you can easily kind of curb a lot of the loss of resources that you're having with missions and whatnot. Okay, so now that we have Phylark taken care of. Anyway, what I was saying before with PvP, I don't disparage if that's the way you want to play. I'm glad that you got some new battlegrounds, as well as the war fronts, which I really do think are built for you, not necessarily for PvEers. The island experience, I think, is also going to be an awesome thing for PvPers, because you can actually queue in to have Horde players against Alliance players for island treasures. That sounds to me like an awesome concept and idea. So I think it's going to be a good one for PvPers. I also think it's going to be fairly good story-wise for PvEers as well.
Speak.
Do you have the Ember Blossom? Yes, I do. This is a fine Ember Blossom that you have brought to me. I know the danger you faced to retrieve it, and I thank you. All right. Guise of the Deceiver. In a cave not far from here, there lives an old woman named Callie. I knew Callie many years ago when I was young, though as I have become old and gray, she has kept her youth and beauty. Callie was jealous of my love for Dahaka, and I have long suspected that Callie had a part in her death. However, without evidence, I could not bring justice against her. Meet with Callie and tell her that I am dying. Tell her that I wish to know the truth of Dahaka's fate before I leave this world. Okay, so Callie actually is kind of familiar, if you'll notice. There actually was a troll camp in the, or camp/orphanage in the Old Legrand. That's who they're referring to. That is who this creepy lady is, because if people remember that, it's actually kind of a creepy area, considering that it's an orphanage. So all you gotta do is just come up here, just loop around, and here is Callie's cave. We're gonna go ahead and speak with Callie. And in here. Hello.
Everybody pulls their weight.
I don't see many visitors all the way out here. It is so very nice to have a guest. Will you be staying for dinner?
I wish to know the truth about Dahaka. What do you know of her death?
So that poor fool Garrock is dying and wishes to know the truth. I remember Dahaka. She was as you see me now.
Until I drained the life from her wretched body.
Garrock is a fool! I would have shared this power with him. Cower before my true power.
Nope. I don't think I will. Actually, I don't think this is the troll lady. I always thought it was. It's a whole different story then. Oh well. Still a creepy area to visit, and I encourage you to visit it, like on Halloween. It's an orphanage with skeletons everywhere and kids in cages. Alright, so let's go ahead and deliver the bad news to Garrock. Is that she was probably even responsible. In fact, we know she was responsible for her death. For Dahaka's death.
Kali, that iniquitous witch. If only I had proof of her treachery long ago, I would have ripped the villainous heart from her chest and crushed it beneath my foot. You have brought me the truth as I asked. For that, you have my thanks. The debt we share. These mortal shells that we call bodies are not ours to keep. The body is a gift of earth that must one day be returned from whence it came. The time has come for this body to return to the elements. Know that you have lifted the weight from an old heart, Drakfu. As I pass on from this realm, I do so without regret. I fought on behalf of my people and my land. I have served the elements, and I have loved. It would honor me if you would stay during these final moments, monk.
Okay. I'm concerned, but alright.
My time is at an end, but I die knowing that I have honored her memory.
So let's go and talk to him again.
I am a shaman of the old ways, and I care not for the petty conflicts between clans. Throughout the years, many clans have called this valley home, but it has always belonged to the elements first.
I stand with you, Garrock. Rest with honor.
This body grows weary, Drakfu. These eyes, old eyes, darken.
Aw, and there's Dahaka.
Garrock, my mate. I have stood by you as breath upon the wind. I have watched as you lived with honor, and my love has not waned. Rise, husband, your ancestors call. Reunited we shall answer. Dahaka, it is your call that I have waited so long to hear.
And there they go. Aww. At least he has a good ending. I'm taking the corpse! No, I'm kidding. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this in with, I think it was Calandrios? Yeah, Calandrios wanted us to help him out, so here we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump down here. It doesn't really even matter. Oh no, piranhas! Well, Sky Salt Lake hasn't changed that much. So let's go ahead and turn this in with Calandrios, and I think that'll give us the next phase in the questing. There we are. Calandrios, we're back! We worked with Garrock, he died.
Garrock was a loyal keeper and a true friend. He will be missed, but so is the cycle of life on this world. In time, we will call a new keeper of the elements, and he will serve us as Garrock did before him.
Alright, so we have haste and versatility and crit and haste. I'm gonna do the cloak, and yay! Rare upgrade. Boom, we'll take that, so it's 618. And now we have an additional quest from Drekthar.
Tell me.
The Ritual of Binding.
The time has come for you to undertake the Ritual of Binding, Drakfu. This ancient shamanic rite has been practiced since before I was born. To be chosen is a great honor. Many shamans see vivid elemental visions during the rite, experiencing this world through the very elemental bonds that hold it together. When you are ready, speak with Calandrios to begin the rite.
For the frost
Okay.
rules.
So just talk to Calandrios and then we can begin.
The wind is the voice of the elements. It whispers gently upon the breeze and howls fiercely within the storm.
I am ready to begin the ritual of binding. Oh, look at this. Somewhere deep underground where there's a bunch of pale orcs. And it looks like they're subjugating elementals. Oh no. And that must be Gordog. Well, now we know where he is. Oh, look at that. What is Cho'Gall doing? Is that a Naru? It's in fact.
Cho'Gall, I sent you here to enslave this thing. Where is my power, ogre? Your power?
It's my power!
You will obey, disciple. Hand over its reins. I think not.
We're done taking orders from you.
We've learned much from Quore.
We're writing a book.
You're insane. Run away, old man!
Soon, Heimel will burn. Then, the world.
That's not good. So, little bit of a spoiler, that is actually the inside of Oshu'Gun. For those who know what Oshu'Gun is, it was that big monument kind of area in the original Nagrand, but it's actually the remains of a Draenei spaceship. And it was powered by a Naru, specifically one named Quore. And if you actually go to into the Burning Crusade, or the Outland version, you can actually go deep into the ship and you can find Quore. She's there. But there's a demon presence in there at that point. This is basically saying that Cho'Gall is trying to subjugate Quore and gain powers of the void, because as you can see, that Naru was in a void cycle. So it is a being of the void, not necessarily a being of the light. And that's probably what happened to Gordog as well. He got subjugated by Cho'Gall.
This land needs
Farseer Drakthar listens closely as you speak of your vision.
I see. These are truly dark days. Cho'Gall has invaded the heart of Oshu'Gun, draining the Naru of its life. He seeks to destroy the Naru, birthing a dark void god in its place. Cho'Gall must be stopped. Come, we must travel to the sacred mountain before it is too late.
So, alright. Oh, and a rare upgrade, so it went up to 623. That's even better. Boom. The Call of Oshu'Gun.
The elements have spoken and a vision has been revealed, Drakfu. Together we shall travel to the great mountain Oshu'Gun and put an end to the dark disturbance there. If what you saw in the vision is to be believed, then great danger awaits us. I will meet you in the Spirit Woods at the foot of Oshu'Gun. When you are ready to depart, speak with Gixmo Moneycash, and he will fly you there.
You bring honor to our
Okay.
land.
I will meet you in the Spirit Woods near Oshu'Gun. Cho'Gall must be stopped.
So this is kind of funny. Gul'dan is being betrayed by one of his own, and actually when you get later into Auchindoun, spoiler alert, Terran Gore isn't really serving Gul'dan at that point either. He is very much on his own. So I just find it a little funny. The Shadow Council doesn't really serve any interests but their own. Alright, so let's talk to Gixa. Fly me to the Spirit Woods near Oshu'Gun. So we're going to take care of the Gordog problem and maybe even infiltrate Oshu'Gun to see if we can save Quore. Or Kur. I've heard numerous ways to say the name. I'm not quite sure what it is, so I'm going with what the voice actors were told because they were told by a director. And that director clarified somewhere with it and said that no, his name is Quore. So there we go. mean, for crying out loud, I thought the new one was named Zera, and no, it's Zira. So, pronunciation, it's key, everybody. And so there is actually Oshu'Gun off in the distance. You can see, like, the big crystal mountain. So all you gotta do is step in here, and there's Drakthar. Hi, Drakthar!
Who's there?
It's been many years since I have set foot within these woods. I was last here for the Koshag many years ago, when this place was shared amongst all clans. Those days have passed, and now only the Warsong banners fly here. Spiritual matters. The spirits of the dead have long been drawn to Oshu'Gun. As long as I can remember, the woods have been filled with ancestral spirits making a ghostly pilgrimage to the heart of the mountain. However, I fear that what is transpiring here is not the normal spirit walk I have seen before. Make your way to the ancestral grounds and commune with the spirits there for guidance on this matter.
Run.
Okay.
Back.
Then we also have Dark Binding. The mountain of Oshu'Gun stands tall above the valley of Nagrand. This place is sacred among all clans. But now the Warsong have claimed it as their own. So Dark Binding. Even as we speak, the Pale within Shadowfall Canyon are enslaving the elements to their will. Many elemental spirits have already been enthralled, and more will follow. The Pale must be stopped and the elementals they enslave set free. Journey into Shadowfall Canyon and set free those elemental spirits which are not fully enthralled by the Pale. As for the elementals already enslaved by the Pale, the only mercy we can give them now is to release their bonds through death.
Be cautious.
Okay, and then the Pale threat. The Pale are wretched creatures that hide beneath the ground, ever plotting against those who dwell upon the surface. They stalk the Underpale, a twisted and dark cavern beneath Oshu'Gun. If we are to succeed in stopping Cho'Gall, we must fight our way through their ranks beneath the earth. Make your way into the cavern, slay the vile creatures within, and take out the Pale leader, the one known as Greyseer.
For the Frost Wolves.
And we also have one from the Shaman Stone. The voice of Calandrios fills your mind as you approach the Shaman Stone, so silence the call. The Warsong clan, in their lust for dominance, have returned to the darkness of the void for power. Dark shamanism is a loathsome, dangerous practice that abuses the elemental gift I have bestowed upon them. There is one among the Warsong that calls out loudest to the void, an elder shaman named Kulrath. Slay him and the rest of his dark shaman. I will not allow the Warsong to abuse the elements and desecrate tradition. Okay, so you need to kill Kulrath as well as 10 Warsong shaman, and then disrupt the rituals. No longer did the Warsong seek to be one with the elements. Instead, they abuse their power by using it to channel the darkness of the void. I will not tolerate these rituals to continue. Locate the ritual totems the Warsong use to channel the void and destroy them. The gift of the elements was not given to the orcs, only to be defiled and used as a plaything. So you need to disrupt the ritual totems. But first, we're going to take care of the Oshu'Gun problem. There we go. I was wondering when we were going to get this mount. BlizzCon ahoy! So this is Shadowfall Canyon. All you got to do is just step in here, and we can start questing. There we go. We can at least free them. Let's see. So next question that people wanted me to answer on the matter. Oh, this one was about WoW Classic. And by the way, can I just say, grats to pretty much everybody. This time around, I did not get as much hate. I mean, I got some at the beginning, just basically, you know, the suck it douchebag kind of things that I was getting, that I said in the video. But after that point, not really so much, so I gotta give some people some credit. I was really concerned about doing that video, and, well, I got proven wrong at least a little bit. I'm happy about that. Probably because the private server people have just written me off, and I don't know what to tell you in that regard. If what I said was so offensive, then, I mean, already it wouldn't work, because I'm not necessarily afraid of speaking my mind when it comes to certain issues. But yeah, the next question actually comes in regards to the WoW Classic servers. So I was actually saying there was a lot of to-be-determined information. We have since gotten a little bit more, but not enough to work with. When do I actually speculate that WoW Classic will become available? At this point, since no information really is there to say that, you know, it's in place, or there's no solid things in place, a lot of it is just we're trying to get people's feedback, we're trying to understand what you guys actually want. That's a harder question to answer. Because as much as I don't want to say it, it doesn't sound to me like they're very far into development. I mean, you know, JL and Drak made the joke half-heartedly that, you know, we might need those servers that we donated to auctions back. Okay. Well, that doesn't sound good. That sounds to me like you've got a problem. So for that, I'm actually going to speculate we're probably not... We may see news as we go along, but it sounds to me like this is probably a year, maybe two, maybe more down the road. I don't want to say longer than 3, though. Longer than 3 years seems like too much, and if you have to wait that long anyway, then it shouldn't be done, kind of thing. Because I honestly believe, like... I believe when they say, you know, we do want to make this work. They actually did play, I think they said, old school Sholomance on Nostalria's Code, and they enjoyed themselves. So they actually, contrary to what I actually thought, they did get given Nostalria's Code, and they used it. I don't know why they're not just using it now to answer all of the questions that people have, but they're not. Where's Gracier? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's down this way. I think, yeah, I think it's going to be 1 to 2 years, but at the very most, it'll be 3 before it's up and running. I'm saying up and running, guys, not like a beta gets announced or anything like that. I think those will happen and you'll get updates, but I think if they don't have it released and out to the public in the next 3 years, it won't matter that they have it because people will be done waiting by that point. So I would say 3 years at the most for a final release candidate and for it to be out in Blizzard fans' hands. And again, I did get a few people asking, are you going to be playing? No, I'm not interested. If you guys saw in the video, the whole Nostalrius affair when I did it earlier, plus my own viewpoints, I'm not interested in going to a private server or to WoW Classic. I like what they're doing currently, and frankly, if I don't like playing the game, I don't need to go to an earlier version. I have like a big pile of games that still need to be played. So there you go. Let's go ahead and talk to Drekthar.
Listen to the land.
So, Dark Binding. The Pale have been taught by Cho'Gall to enslave the elemental spirits of this land. When an elemental is enthralled in this manner, it cannot be reversed, even by a farseer such as myself.
Spirits walk.
Alright, the Pale threat. I have encountered evil in many places, Drakfu. Even deep within my own soul. I have seen shadows of what could be. However, the evil within the hearts of the Pale defies explanation. It is dark, loathing, and miserable in a way I have never encountered. Alright. And the fate of Gordog. So as we stand beneath the shadow of the once mighty Gordog, I can feel the elements weep. The fate of Gordog. Looming monstrously between us and the inner chamber is the great fury we have sought to return to the throne of the elements. Gordog stands before us enthralled, a slave to the Pale and their mysterious master. My heart is heavy with grief to see such a great creature mindless and enslaved by evil. There's no going back. In order to push forward, you must go through Gordog. It pains me, but Gordog must be slain. When the deed is done, we will return the Fury's heart to the throne of the elements.
Be cautious.
Alright, the Dark Heart of Oshu'Gun.
We are not far from the inner chamber, Drakfu. The truth behind the evil here awaits us. I can project my spirit into the chamber to guide you, but it will be up to you to defeat the evil that lays within. May the wind of Calandrios guide your arm, and the wisdom of Aborius enlighten your faculties, and the flame of Incineratus burn your enemies. May the memory of Gordog be your shield.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start this up. First of all...
Go! I will hold back any reinforcements that attempt to follow.
Yes, you will. Okay, so first of all, we need to take out Gordog.
Master commands, and I obey.
Well, you didn't obey for that long, Gordog. I'm sorry. Okay, no turning back. Let's go ahead and enter Oshu'Gun and go into the Sanctum of the Naru. Let's go up here, and there we are. We are in the room. So what the heck is going on in here? Uh-oh. Okay, Cho'Gall is taking from Quarry. Oh, jeez, okay.
Behold, a void god is born! You fools are too late! A pity that I cannot stay to watch you die! We're going to Heimal! By the elements, what has Cho'Gall done? Hold fast, Drakfu. The Naru is transforming into a void god. We have no choice but to stand and fight. At long last, my time has come. This world shall crumble beneath the power of the void.
Alright, so let's go ahead and take care of Decimatus. Or Decimatus.
With me, Drakfu, we fight as wolves!
Fist of Fury! Oh no, we beat him. Oh boy. What does this mean?
The great furies must be informed of what has transpired here. Quickly, follow me.
I think Oshu'Gun's falling apart, Drakthar. I think we need to get out of here.
I sense a cool draft on my skin and the smell of the earth and leaves. There must be an opening to the outside.
And yes, there actually is. So all you gotta do is cross this bridge. And you can go up through this little crystal vein. And out a little hole in Oshu'Gun. So, boom. I actually do like this tunnel. This is actually really cool. Walking through crystal.
The opening is just ahead.
So, yay! We're out! And we're out in Oshu'Gun. There we go. Now, we unfortunately need to turn all of these in over at the Throne of Elements. So, what we're going to do is, we could get some questing done here, but we're actually running out of time for the day. Instead, I'm going to go find a nearby flight path so that we can get back here quick, and we'll probably just start up all of that Warsong Void stuff on Friday. I don't know, it depends on whether or not this is going to give us a chapter or not. I'm not sure. Oh, the Moth of Wrath. He's a daily. Okay, just keep on following this path, and we should come across what we need, which is a flight path. And actually, Tallbuck should be nearby, too. Not sure where, but he should be nearby. We'll take care of him probably next time, too, and get that done. There it is. So you just gotta find Nivek Lee.
Time is money,
And we're gonna
friend.
go ahead and fly back to the Throne of the Elements. So quick magic that while we do that. Okay, we just barely got back to the Throne of Elements, so let's go ahead and turn these in at the throne and let them know the fate of Gordog as well as the fate of Oshu'Gun. Not good, obviously. And fun fact, we will see Cho'Gall again if you do Mythic version of Heimal. He does show up in the final boss encounter, so you will be able to see him again. Don't worry about that. Let's talk to Calandrios. So, the fate of Gordog.
What of Gordog? Has the great fury been brought to rest?
Yes, unfortunately.
Gordog was a mighty ally. The elements will mourn the loss of the fury, but death was the only answer. Gordog would not have wished to stay a slave to evil. Though Gordog is no more, the heart of a fury is eternal and unbreakable. In time, this brightly glowing heart will take shape into a new earthen fury. Such is the cycle of life upon the elemental plateau.
And with that, you actually get, actually, I think we need to turn this in with Drakthar, and then he'll show up. But there we go.
This land needs you.
You have done well, Drakfu. By defeating the Void God Decimatus, the destruction of this great valley has been avoided. The threat of the Pale has subsided for now as well. The loss of Gordog will be felt throughout Nagrand, but someday a new Earthen Fury will take seat upon the Throne of Elements, and balance will be restored. Oh, and we get a 605 mace out of that, so that's awesome.
Run with the pack.
Ah, dang it. Okay, so really quick. Let's clear out some inventory space. There we are.
Glad I could help.
Don't even care.
How goes the fight?
Anyway, you were saying? Boom.
Though
And
much
it's just-
has been lost, I sense a great peace in the elements. I will remember your courage always, friend.
Okay. So I think like a day later, you actually will get a Spirit of Gordog that shows up, at least until a new Earthen Fury is picked. So that's actually a nice little detail that they added, is that you would eventually get to see Gordog on the throne again. At least temporarily. Where is the item I got? Let's see. It's a Void Warped Mace. Yeah, and I think it was still gray. Or green. Not gray. I would never equip anything gray. Are you kidding me? Oh, there we go. So 605, and it's crit and haste. 593, yeah, actually that would be an improvement. So, boom. Let's do that. And yeah, that actually gave us another chapter in the Nagrand storyline, the Dark Heart of Oshu'Gun. And I think that's going to go ahead and do it for today. So when we come back on Friday, we will resume our questing in Nagrand by starting up over in the void-touched area of Oshu'Gun to take care of what the war song is doing in that place. We'll see you guys then.